not recognize that it was Jesus on the shore. And it tells us how Jesus asked them, did they have anything to eat? And they said no. And Jesus gives them the direction to cast their net on the right side, and there they caught their fish. See, many times when we go through situations of fear, like Peter was afraid, not recognizing that that was Jesus, they thought that it was a ghost. And then when he took his eyes off of Jesus, he began to sink. When we find ourselves in situations of worrying and distress, just as Mary was crying in distress and not recognizing that Jesus was right there in her very presence. Again, in the book of John 21:4, where they did not recognize that Jesus was on the shore, but yet he gave them the direction to receive the supply that they need. So many times we face things that brings about fear and worry and unbelief and cause us to be in distress. But I want to encourage you and to get you to know, to strengthen you through your week, that he's right there to keep you from drowning. Jesus is right there to keep you from swifting away in that worry, in that fear. He will immediately stretch out his hand and come to save you. He's right there walking with you in the concern. What you're concerned about, Jesus is concerned about also. God is concerned about. He even gives us the confirmation and the promise. If you cast all your cares on him, because he cares for you. He's right there to encourage you and to comfort you in your worries. In the times, in those midnight hours that you cry to yourself when you can't cry to anyone else and you don't know what else to do, he is right there in your presence. He's right there to give you that direction for you to able to receive your blessings. But we face things in our marriage. We may face things in our household with our children. There's so many things that goes around, but we got to erase the blindness. Say, okay, I see this for what it is. This is something, this worry is here to blind me. This worry is here to distract me. The enemy has sent this battle or this test or this situation to cause me not to recognize the very presence of God. But we're able through the word of God to remove all matter of blindness. We're able to do that because God has given us the promise that he's with us in whatever we face. Jesus says, I will never leave nor will I forsake you. That is a promise. That is what's able to remove that blindness of doubt, of fear. That removes the blindness. When you get so distressed, sometimes we get so distressed, and we feel like God has no clue as to what's going on. He doesn't know what we're going through, the hurt or the pain. He doesn't know how we're feeling. But listen to what the word of God says. It tells us that many of the afflictions of the righteous, but God delivers us out of them all. Many things we may face, many challenges that we may have to go through in tests and trials. But the word of God teaches us many of the afflictions of the righteous, but God, there's always a but God. He delivers us out of all of them. And glory be to his name. He is so faithful. He will never allow anything to come against you that you're not able to bear, that you're not able to handle. A lot of times we don't want to face things because we don't want to go through the situation, but many times we need to go through a situation because it makes our character stronger. It builds our faith, and we're able to help our loved ones, our brethren. Just like the word of God teaches us, when you have been strengthened, don't forget about your brother. That means don't forget about your sister, your mother. Don't forget about your family member, someone that may be facing that very same situation that God has brought you out of and given you the victory. He wants us to encourage one another. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but he delivers us out of every one of them. He also gives us an instruction to come boldly unto the throne of grace, where we can receive help in the time of need, where we can receive help in the time of trouble. We must come boldly. Lord, I'm confessing right now that your word says, and I'm receiving and I'm declaring your word right now over my life, He tells us to come boldly to him. Let him know what you need. Let him know what you need him to get you out of or to restore you with.